The Great Escape in Queensbury, New York is getting a brand new coaster for the 2024 season. This is going to be a Gravity Group family wooden coaster from the Gravity Group Corporation, and I think this is going to be a fantastic new addition to the park, and hopefully the beginning of a great relationship between the Gravity Group and Six Flags. If you do enjoy today's video, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and welcome to Coasternaut. So then, let's talk about Six Flags Great Escape. We've recently seen all of the new additions, and that includes 3 new coasters coming to the Six Flags chain for 2020-24, and that is a fantastic new thing. Salim Basool hasn't had the greatest start to life as the CEO of Six Flags. He got a lot of heat for how he handled the parks in 2021-2022 in terms of the lack of investment, so to see 3 brand new coasters coming to the chain for 2024 is fantastic. One of those coasters is Bobcat, the Gravity Group family wooden coaster that is coming to Six Flags Great Escape in upstate New York. This is a fantastic new addition to the park. The park desperately needed a coaster. It has been very much long overdue. The park's last coaster was actually in 2005, and that was Frankie's Mine Train. This is the Zamperla family coaster, and it really is a family coaster. It is a very small layout. And so actually their last thrill coaster came back in 2003, and that was an Aerodynamics Mine Train. So even then, that's really only a family thrill coaster. When we keep going back through their coaster list, they only have 6 coasters, so it's not long. Their last proper thrill coaster was probably all the way back in 1997, which is Flashback, their Vekoma Boomerang coaster. So, this park only has 6 coasters. Not many of them are that big and thrilling. Most of them are sort of junior or family thrill coasters. So, to see a park of this size getting a brand new coaster for 2024 is absolutely fantastic. But what coaster are they getting then? So, they're getting Bobcat. This is a short but sweet family thrill Gravity Group wooden coaster. This is going to be a great new addition to the park. I think a lot of parks could benefit from these Gravity Group woodies. The Gravity Group have made some large scale woodies like Kukulkan at Emerald Park in Ireland, but what they've become really well known for, and almost what their trademark best thing in their portfolio is these family thrill Gravity Group wooden coasters. Think of Oscar's Wacky Taxi or Kentucky Flyer or Twister. These are fantastic little wooden coasters. What these have become synonymous with is being not too tall to scare kids off. I mean, Bobcat's going to have a top height of 55 feet, not being too fast. It's going to have a top speed of 40 miles an hour, and not being the longest layout in the world. It's going to have a length of 1,412 feet. So they don't have the longest layouts in the world or the most tall and fast layouts in the world, but what they do have is a layout that kids and younger guests can enjoy. However, they are profiled fantastically and have some elements like some steeper drops or some whippy turns and transitions, or double ups, double downs, slightly banked turns and outer banked hills and things, which means that enthusiasts will absolutely love these because some of the forces they give are fantastic. Some of the airtime on things like Oscar's Wacky Taxi is fantastic. Oscar's Wacky Taxi has won literal awards, even though it's a junior family coaster, in terms of being one of the best wooden coasters in the world. A lot of these coasters have fantastic forces, and I think this is going to be a fantastic addition for this park. This is going to be a really good coaster for a park like Great Escape. It doesn't get much investment. It's not one of the bigger parks in the chain. It's definitely one of the parks that is long overdue investment and long overdue a new coaster installation. And for that, I think this is going to be a fantastic new addition. When you look at their lineup, like I say, they have a few thrill coasters, a few family coasters, and this is going to be a perfect new addition because I think it's going to almost cater to everybody. This is going to have, obviously the smallest kids can't ride this. They're going to have to stick to their junior coasters, but the kids that have just grown a bit too tall for the junior coasters want to try something new, this can be their first almost big coaster. They're going to get to experience a brand new wooden coaster, hopefully very smooth. The Gravity Group trains are really fantastic and often have some very smooth layouts and have a very good overall build quality, similar to a company like GCI. So this is going to be a great coaster for the younger guests, and therefore families can go and families can enjoy this coaster. However, enthusiasts from around the area are going to come and travel to ride this coaster. People love Gravity Group wooden coasters. Like I said, I keep going back to it. Oscar's Wacky Taxi seems to be the most popular one, the one that has the best reviews. But there's one at Parc Saint Paul in France, wood coaster. Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom has some great reviews. Twister at Groenland. These are some fantastic little wooden coasters that the family can enjoy, the younger guests can enjoy, but also provide a thrilling enough experience for older guests and thrill seekers and enthusiasts to go and enjoy. And I think it's going to be a fantastic addition for the Great Escape. It's long overdue, and hopefully, more on a larger scale, I think this could potentially be the start of a relationship between the Gravity Group and the Six Flags chain. I really hope it could be. When we think of wooden coasters coming to parks, we typically think of GCI, Cedar Fair. Whenever they typically build wooden coasters, they go through GCI, and so do most of the companies. I mean, just look here, Alton Towers. Their most recent coaster installation was the Wickerman GCI in 2018 over here in the UK. So most companies, when you think of adding a new wooden coaster these days, go through GCI. It's not like in the past when you've had CCI and the DIN Corporation and loads of other wooden coaster manufacturers. These days, the biggest one and most common one is easily GCI, especially nowadays with their Titan track. Making them more similar to RMC in terms of being able to do inversions and tighter twists and turns, and their new Infinity Flyer trains, which allow them to do different transitions and, like I say again, going through inversions. So Gravity Group gets a bit overshadowed, in my opinion, by something like GCI, and I hope this could be the beginning of a fantastic relationship between Six Flags and the Gravity Group. As I've said before, the Gravity Group offers smaller coasters, but also offers some larger coasters. And when we look across the Six Flags chains, there are multiple parks that have older wooden coasters, but could do with either new family coasters or a new modern day wooden coaster. And I think Gravity Group could potentially be called in. Obviously, this is just me speculating now, but I think the Gravity Group could potentially be called in future to add new wooden coasters to multiple of their parks throughout the chain, to add something completely different. If the chain now needs new family or family thrill coasters to add to their parks, the Gravity Group is now an option. We now know there is a relationship between this manufacturer and the theme park chain, Six Flags. So instead of seeing, a Zamperla family coaster or, the Skyline Spaghetti Bowl coasters that we're starting to see pop up at numerous Six Flags chain parks, rather than seeing these coasters, there might be more chance that we now see something like the Bobcat coaster that's turning up at Great Escape, a very short but sweet, but hopefully full of some great elements, little Gravity Group wooden coaster. Or there is also the potential, maybe a park needs a new thrill coaster. They don't want to splash all the cash on going for a big steel coaster. Build something like Cuchulainn at Emerald Park in Ireland. That is a fantastic, large scale, full of airtime, great transitions, great turns. Something like this would be fantastic. Or even in terms of retracking, Tonnerre to Zeus over at Parc Astérix in France. That was an old CCI coaster, Tonnerre de Zeus. It's been retracked and renamed to Tonnerre to Zeus. They've revamped half the layout, where it was some rough areas. The Gravity Group has been called in to smooth out some of those areas, improve the profiling, add some new outer banking and twists and turns in there, make it a more modern day wooden coaster. We've been seeing Six Flags work heavily with RMC over the past decade, rather than RMCing a lot of their coasters, because, IBOT's steel track again, quite expensive. Could we now be seeing Gravity Group be brought in to redo some of their wooden coasters rather than RMC? I think this is an overall great addition to the Great Escape, but overall an even better move from Six Flags to build that relationship with the Gravity Group and just allow them to potentially start now reprofiling and adding new coasters across the chain. Do you think this is a great addition over to Great Escape Bobcat? I think it's fantastic, but I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback down below. Please like the video if you enjoyed, it massively helps out the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.